My sponsor Rock Bottom is currently running a special deal. Head on over to rockbottomcoins.com and use code Zirksee at checkout for a 30% off your order.
The whole thing wobbin', wobbin'. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin'.
What's going on, guys? It's Zirksee coming at you today with another YouTube video. Today, I have some more Madden 20 information to get into with you guys. So first off, we're going to be going over impressions of Madden 20, which this is, of course, going to be Madden School's impression. They actually went out to EA Play, played the game. Also have some more in-game screenshots to show you. And then I also have to go over RPOs in Madden 20, which RPOs are going to be a huge thing when it comes to the gameplay. So if you guys are not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you guys hit that sub button and turn that notification bell on, because I'm going to be going so hard as soon as Madden 20 drops. And of course, once all the information starts dropping in Madden 20, expect to see a lot of Madden 20 videos. And also, if you guys want to go check out these blogs for yourself and check out Madden School, link will be in the description. There's some really cool guys as well. So let's go ahead and get into this impressions of Madden 20. As you guys can see, for those of you that haven't been paying much attention to the barrage of Madden 20 news over the last month, there was a lot to learn about Madden 20 from yesterday's EA Play events. This is a little bit older article. For others, it seemed like a review of the things the developers announced in previous weeks. However, even if you are a die-hard Madden fan, soaking up all the latest information, there were several new details and announcements that emerged from the event. Here's what we learned about Madden 20 at yesterday's EA Play event. 8 new high-quality Madden 20 screenshots are near the bottom of this article. What we know and like. As we reported yesterday afternoon, the Madden 20 closed beta released later this week, which it does come out on Friday for you guys that don't know. And if you're one of the lucky people to acquire a code, is a great chance at putting your mark on this year's game. The beta will have 4 teams available. Those teams include the Rams, Patriots, Chiefs, and the Saints. Madden 20 seems to be a little slower than last year's game. This should make the game feel more realistic and allow for things to flow more seamless. And whether we'd like to admit it or not, that's a very good thing. One of the first things that was announced here was the addition of over 200 RPO plays. Furthermore, after nearly 2 years since the improbable play, the Philly Special will also make its much anticipated debut. Additionally, updates to playbooks will be made throughout the year to keep plays fresh and up to date. Some of the new Madden 20 hot route options are a giant step in the right direction. Tight end hot routes like a delayed fade and another where the tight end blocks first and runs a crossing route are a welcome addition. Look for a decent amount of new hot routes at every position in this year's game. Madden Ultimate Team continues to be among EA's favorite popular features, but at times in previous years, it could be difficult to navigate through the menus and hard for casual players to understand what accomplishments needed to be made in order to get an individual card. That has changed in Madden 20, and based on the images provided, looks much easier and more fluid than previous installments. What we need to see more of. Superstar X Factors and Zone abilities are the newest features in this year's game. These new abilities make each player different and separate the elite from the good. It is uncertain how many abilities and X Factors each player will possess, or whether or not each team will have a set amount of players. Nonetheless, it appears that Madden 20 will finally look and feel like the sport we have grown to love. One potential X Factor concern is how uneven could it be for these teams with lesser talent and superstar players. How impossible may it be for a lower rated team to compete with the Chiefs, Patriots, Rams, and other juggernauts? We all saw the clip of Juju Smith-Schuster showing how to make an unexpected grab. This can be all too frequent and make Madden 20 more arcade-like. Although it was brief, we did get our first glimpse at Face of the Franchise QB1, and it has the potential to be a game changer for career mode fans. How long will this game mode go on for? Will it feel repetitive like EA previous attempts at a story mode? Lastly, franchise mode details were few and far between, and yes, Pro Bowl teams were added, but details were scarce. So that's kind of their opinion on Madden 20, how they got to play the game, what it kind of feels like, and I can understand that as well. I was thinking that as well. It's like, how many superstars will not so good teams have? Like the Cardinals. How many superstars will the Cardinals have? I feel like it's going to be, maybe every single team will have at least a couple superstars, but obviously you're not going to have as many superstars in the team as, say, the Chiefs, the Patriots, the Rams, the Saints, the Cowboys, maybe even, with Ezekiel Elliott, Leighton Van Der Esch, Jalen Smith. There's a lot of stars on a lot of teams, so it's going to be very interesting to see if it's uneven, or if they decide to make certain teams always have a certain amount of numbers of X-Factor players. Now let's get into some screenshots so you guys kind of take a look at the in-game graphics of Madden 20. So here we have Eddie Jackson, I believe that's Prince Amukamara, tackling Christian McCaffrey. The next screenshot, of course, is going to be Joey Bosa coming in for a pass rush on Andrew Luck. We also have Kittle, which I believe that is Zach Brown in coverage, trying to make the play, but it looks like he's probably going to come down with that catch. Here we have Mike Evans taking a turn, and you can see the tattoos on him are pretty dang detailed, I'll say that. We also have Cleveland Browns superstar Myles Garrett sheds a block right there, and I believe it's also Joe Schobert in the picture as well. Here we have Patrick Mahomes. Looks like he's about to be running, maybe even get sacked there. And then we have Saquon Barkley breaking a tackle, and finally we have Von Miller. So, interesting screenshots. Final thoughts, there's still a lot of time between now and when Madden 20 is released, but what we learned so far indicates that the folks at EA are doing their due diligence to change things for the better. At the end, if you're a diehard fan of Madden, what we learned in this week's event won't change your mind, but it helped provide a little clarity for casual fans as to what to expect from this year's game. What are your thoughts on Madden 20? So that's their impressions of the game and also some screenshots. Let's go ahead and get into the Madden 20 RPOs and also some clips of it. Unless you haven't been paying any attention to the recent Madden 20 news, you probably know that RPOs are coming to Madden 20. In fact, there are 220 different RPO plays in the game. Most of us seen the graphic going over the 3 different types of RPO plays added into Madden 20, peek, read, and alert. However, if you haven't seen it yet, we've included it below. If you want to learn more about what the difference is between the different run pass options, you can do so here. So as you guys can see, we have the peek, the read, and the alert. So this is, honestly, RPOs are going to be so new and fresh, and this is like the number one thing I think that people are going to have to learn to do once the game actually comes out. And I really feel as though Madden 20, more so than ever, everybody should be running a mobile QB. I feel like it's just going to be something that you have to do with the addition of RPOs. No one's going to fall for an RPO if you have Tom Brady. Obviously, you're not going to be keeping it with the quarterback. So I really feel as though mobile QBs are going to be on another level of necessary when it comes to the next game. Here we actually have some gameplay footage. All in all, RPOs look pretty smooth. It's something that should be a lot of fun in Madden 20. So let's go ahead and take a look at this here. Gameplay footage of the different types of RPOs was much harder to come by. The video below at first takes you through the play call screens of various RPO offenses, then gets into a couple examples of how the RPOs actually look in Madden. So I think you're probably going to have to choose a pretty good playbook here. I'd imagine, you know, the Cardinals, I'm not exactly sure who else will actually have RPOs. Cardinals, probably the Eagles. That right there, I believe, was the alert one. I'm pretty sure you basically can press any single button at the time. So as you're doing the handoff, I believe all you have to do to cancel is press the wide receiver button. Here it makes a quick little read there. And this one you actually have to read, I believe, this is the one we actually have to read like 3 defenders before the snap, so that's going to be the hardest one to actually go ahead and do. I feel as though the alert is probably going to be the easiest one, because all you have to do is literally press the wide receiver button. And if you do that, you'll cancel the handoff and you'll be absolutely fine. Here is an example of what you'll see on offense when you bring up the RPO play art at the line of scrimmage. You can see that the read is a lot more complicated than in Madden 19. It is no longer as easy as just reading the defensive end. You can see here, there's the linebacker up there with the M over him. There is the R over the right defensive end. And then there's the P over a cornerback. So there's 3 players that you have to read here to kind of figure out. Do you want to hand it off to Damian Williams? Do you want to run Mahomes? Or do you want to throw it here to Hardman? So, of course, the cornerback with the P, if he's going to be coming down and trying to cover B, you don't want to go there. And then I think, honestly, the first one you should make here, me personally, the first read that I'll probably make on this play is going to be the R defensive end. Because if he is going for Damian Williams, right there I know I can run with Patrick Mahomes or whoever your quarterback is going to be in Madden Ultimate Team. My second read is going to be P, because if P is coming in on Patrick Mahomes, that means you can throw it out to the wide receiver. So just keep that in mind when you're going over these plays. It's going to take some time to get used to. You might make a couple wrong reads. You might throw a pick. You might get big hit. It's just something you're going to have to learn to do. If you quickly make the right read, you can really frustrate the defense. If you take too long to make a bad read, you will quickly find yourself going backwards. We also have some screenshots as well of Zach Ertz catching a pass against the Baltimore Ravens. I believe that's Travis Kelce who just ran over a Bengals defender. Again, Saquon Barkley breaking another tackle. And here we have Phillip Rivers getting the throw off. Looks like he was about to get sacked though. And then we also have OBJ. I'm sure some of you guys will probably appreciate that OBJ one. And finally, Khalil Mack coming in to get the sack on Cam Newton. We also have another screenshot of Andrew Luck. So that is all the information I have for you guys today. Madden School's impressions of Madden 20, as well as some new RPOs. And honestly, I'm very excited to see exactly how these RPOs are going to play out, how well will we be able to learn these? Like, how quickly can we learn this? It's definitely going to be a lot different, but I feel like quarterbacks like Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, Michael Vick, those are definitely going to be like the most used players in Madden 20, more so than now, which is pretty crazy because I'd say about 95% of people probably use scrambling quarterbacks in Ultimate Team. It's just kind of the way that you want to go to evade pressure, to maybe, you know, make some more time to go ahead and throw outside the pocket. But with these new RPOs, it's definitely going to be a pain in the butt to go ahead and play, and I wonder if now more than ever, awareness and play rec will actually matter on your defensive line, on your linebackers, on your cornerbacks. I'm very curious to see. But that's all the Madden 20 info that I have for you guys today. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you smack the like button. It does help me out, of course. And hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure you turn that notification bell on so you guys can see whenever I upload a new Madden 20 Ultimate Team video or Madden 20 news video, whatever, as well as a couple more Madden 19 videos that we have over the course of the next month. Comment down below what you guys think about the RPOs and also their impressions of Madden 20. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time.